I just want to know if you're able to hear me. Professor, are you
Yeah,
able to
please.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. And please introduce me very briefly, not more than 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are, good evening participants. We are in the last session of the NEP orientation and sensitization program. Here with us, Professor A.R. Kidwai, sir. He is the former director of UGC HRDC, Aligarh Muslim University, very well known to me, and he's a very, very eminent professor, I would say. So let us listen to him on academic leadership. On to Professor Kidwai.
Thank you very much, Professor Yasmin Aga. First, let me uh, tell all the, welcome my fellow teachers here. I know most of them are from B.S. Abdul Rahman University. It is a proud moment for me because the course coordinator, Professor Yasmin Heather, she was my worthy associate in Ministry of Education, then called HRD, its project. She was a pillar of strength and support to us, and she made that project highly successful. It was aimed at quality education and professional development of teachers. And those of you who are at this B.S. Abdul Rahman University, I must compliment you for being part of such a prestigious academic institution which has made its mark since its inception. It is not a very old institution, but the important thing is that in terms of quality, it has made its mark, and the credit goes to faculty members like Professor Yasmin Hagar for her dynamism, for her innovative thinking. As I said during the project, my colleague Dr. Faiza Basi and I, we were impressed by Professor Yasmin Hagar's sincerity, dedication. So it is a pleasure to renew that link after a few years. Anyway, so most welcome to this session. Right.
Thank,
Yes.
thank you,
My dear.
Professor, for those very good words that you have spoken about me. I'm indeed very grateful to you. Thank you so much.
No, you deserve it, right? So, my dear fellow teachers, I have also been a teacher for a long time. Apart from being director and all that, basically I have been a teacher. And naturally, with my gray hair, you can see more experience than you. You are in the prime of your career. So, in a very friendly, frank, candid manner, I will discuss with you academic leadership. Why? There are many reasons for that. One very obvious reason is that you have joined this NEP 2020 orientation sensitization program. First, a word about orientation. You have joined this program and it is called orientation. What does this orientation mean? In English language, Orient is a geographical term. It stands for the east, the direction in which the sun rises. So that hemisphere of the planet Earth is called the Orient. And its counterpart, its opposite is the west. As a geographical term, it is called as Occident, Occident. We are not, of course, concerned here with these words as a geographical term. They are used here as a metaphor. In which sense, when we say orient or orientation, it means a sense of direction, leading you to a path, holding hand and following a particular course of action. That's what is called orientation. To show direction, to guide to something. So that way, the program is to guide you to what? To the main features of the National Education Policy 2020, which was launched after long deliberations, careful thinking, exchange of views among the academic fraternity, and the result is this document. Right. So one, it has many features. You know very well now, BA, 4-year BA, and then this examination system, assessment system. Across the board, some new features have been added. My other colleagues, they have covered other aspects of this national education policy. My assignment is to discuss with you the concept of academic leadership. What does it mean? Who is an academic leader? What are the qualities which are associated with an academic leader? What is expected of an academic leader? So in the unit 3 of National Education Policy 2020, very significant point that teachers, they have been designated as mentors. mentors. Mentor again is a guide, a counselor, someone who stands by you. It is not chalk, walk, and talk. That's a very mechanical view of a teacher. You enter the classroom, use chalk or these days this whiteboard, finish the lecture, and then go away, finish. You get salary on first of every month. Your role is over. 18, 20, 24, whatever number of periods you have, you teach them, and that's it. The syllabus is completed, examinations are conducted, degrees are distributed, over. That is a very narrow, limited view of teaching and education, which the NEP, National Education Policy, wants to transform. So the first point in that direction is that it calls teachers as academic leaders, as mentors. Generally, leader in our daily use has a different meaning, somewhat negative also, because mostly it is used for political figures, and that's very natural that we have. We like some political party, we do not like it. So this word has lost its sentiment. But here we are talking about academic leaders. My dear fellow teachers, according to Ministry of Education, according to Government of India, you are academic leaders. Now, this is the question I'm going to discuss with you. What does academic leadership mean? What qualities you are expected to have? What makes you an academic leader? Not just a teacher, but an academic leader. What is that? So there are some features, some qualities which I will discuss with you one by one in order to explain the concept of academic leadership. My dear young faculty members, it hardly matters whether you are in a college or PG college or university. It makes no difference whether you are in the faculty of arts, social science, technology, or management, commerce, any such. And naturally, your gender and age also do not have any bearing. What I'm going to say applies to everyone is who holds the designation of assistant professor. As academic leaders, you should have 4 or 5 qualities. Depending upon the time available to me, I will elaborate, illustrate, explain, clarify what are these qualities. It goes without saying that academic leadership has variety. It is not like a mathematical formula or some factory production that everyone will be alike. That's not possible. Teachers are human beings, they have their own personalities, they have their individual traits, so they vary from one another. So, this is the fact which you should bear in mind, that academic leaders are not like members of an army battalion, same in every respect, with the same uniform, with the same norms of discipline and other things. There is variety, diversity, but some features are common to all. You may differ from one another in many respects, in your dress, in your outlook, in your belief system. That's perfectly all right. But as academic leader, you must have certain qualities. And the first and the foremost, the most important quality is, listen carefully, please jot it down. The first and foremost and the most important quality is communication. A teacher without communication skills is not worth a teacher. There cannot be an academic leader who does not have communication skills. Dr. Rohit, are you with me? Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, sir.
Yes. So, did you note the first point, the first feature, the first outstanding quality of an academic leader is his or her ability to communicate. You may have degrees from Oxford, Harvard. You may be an author of 50 books. You may have many patents to your credit. You may have some research projects. You may have years and years of experience. All right. These are all desirable things. But if you cannot satisfy your students, if you cannot express your ideas to your students, your degrees, your publications, your research experience means nothing to them. They come to the classroom for comprehension, for knowledge gathering, for knowledge production, for satisfying their curiosity, for broadening their mental horizon. And for that, they spend their time, money, energy away from home, staying in hostels, getting admission after much competition. They are like customers. They come with certain expectations. Naturally, their expectation is they should get something out of you. My dear teachers, students cannot get anything out of you unless you are good at communication, unless you have the ability to get into their mind and look. All of you have been a student also 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago. You attended school, you attended college, you attended university. On the average, you had interaction with about average 100 teachers. Dr. Srijita, you remember the names of only 5, 7 teachers, whether of school or of college or university. Same, Dr. Arshi. you may bring to mind the name of only a few, five, six, seven teachers out of 100. Why? Because they were good at communication. Their explanation was wonderful. What they pointed out entered your mind and heart. I recall here, I've been a student of MA English, PhD, but before that, I was a student of BS at the Aligarh Muslim University with chemistry as my main subject. There was a teacher, Professor Tiwari. He taught us physical chemistry in 1975, 50 years ago. What he taught as the law of thermodynamics, PV is equal to nRT, entropy, enthalpy. To this day, I remember. While the fact is that since 1975, I have never touched any book or material on chemistry. Why? It was his communication ability, his style of presentation, his ability to articulate, his quality of explaining things in a charming way, captivating way, that it got straight into your mind and heart. Again, let me share with you in 1970s in schools, trigonometry was introduced for the first time. And because it was first time, so it was a difficult subject. We had a Panditji as our teacher. In the first lecture on trigonometry, he told us, "Beta, ये ध्यान में रखो, क्या पंडित बद्री प्रसाद ऊपर की लाइन में, नीचे की लाइन में लिखो हरि हर बोले और लाइन खींच। ऊपर की लाइन हो गई पंडित बद्री प्रसाद पी बी पी, नीचे की लाइन में हरि हर बोले एच एच P by B, P by H, B by H. That is the summary of trigonometry. All sine theta, cosine theta, all trigonometry formulas are covered by this formula PH, BH, EB, Pandit Badri Prasad, Hari Har Bole. Look here. A simple, ordinary sentence, but capturing the fundamentals of a difficult subject like determined. That is the art of communication. That is the quality of articulation. That is the mastery of controlling the mind and the heart of the students. So, my dear fellow teachers, let me once again emphasize the point that a good teacher, an excellent teacher, or an academic leader is one who has communication skills, presentation skills, expression ability. Now, naturally, the question is how to develop communication skills, how to learn presentation skills. Very briefly, I will tell you the mantra, the formula for learning, mastering the art of communication. It's not at all difficult. It only requires training the mind.
Hello, 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 hello. I am okay,
But
I'm okay, I'm okay.
if you train your mind, if you develop this habit, I can guarantee you that you will be an excellent teacher. If you keep in mind the following points. What are those points which need your attention? Look, communication is mostly about language. Not just language, also how to use it. That's something I'm going to discuss with you. Look here, before you communicate, before you deliver your lecture, even one day before, as lesson planning, please think. And one thing, one or two clarification, let me make. What I'm going to tell you about communication is not only about classroom, it is about 24/7 everyday life. This is one thing. Don't think that what I'm explaining to you, I'm going to explain to you, applies only to classroom. No, anywhere, everywhere. One thing, another is this communication skills are both oral, that is speech, and written. And don't think that it is only about English. No, any language. These are universal points. Keep these in mind. So, I just told you, before you speak or before you write, please give thought. Think before you open your mouth. Think before you start typing on your laptop or pen and paper. What do you have to think? 4 or 5 points. The first one is situation, setting, scene. In simple words, where are you? This where does not mean geography. Socially, where are you? In your principal's room, in the sitting room of your own home, at a public place like railway station or hospital or airport, inside a shopping mall, because life is full of situations. Within 24 hours, every day we have hundreds of situations. Every one of us. We have to perform many roles with one personality. At this, on 12th November 2024 at 6:30 p.m., you are performing the role of a course participant in a particular formal situation, academic setting. After 1 hour, when this course is over, you will be performing so many different roles. One of you will join his or her family over a cup of tea. One of you will go shopping. One of you will watch WhatsApp, internet. One of you will do some college work in his study. So life has so many different situations, settings, scenes, and we communicate according to these. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a leader, listen carefully. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a leader, act according to the situation. I just pointed out your behavior will be different when you are in your principal's room and when you are in the staff room along with your colleagues. So setting, situation, scene, it makes a big difference. Where are you that decides your role, your behavior, your style of communication and interaction. In one situation, you act in a one way, in another, differently. Why? Because this is what life is. Life is full of different, diverse situations, and we have to communicate according to these. When I'm communicating with my 6-year-old grandson, and when I'm communicating with you, my communication is totally different. When you go back, you communicate with your spouse, that will be one kind of communication, and your communication with me or the course coordinator at the end of the session will be totally different. So, look here, my young fellow teachers, if you want success, if you want confidence, if you want people to recognize you, you should learn this art of communication in terms of addressing them according to the situation. If you do not follow this, let me warn you, if you do not keep situation in mind, you will feel embarrassed. You will be in tight corners. You will be a loser. Why? Because people will laugh at you. Because you are saying something unsuitable at a place. At every place, you have to say what is suitable, what is expected, what is required. Right? Just now, if I stop explaining communication, start telling you jokes, one, two, three jokes, fine, you all of you will enjoy. But if for next 45 minutes I keep telling you jokes, you will consider me as an abnormal person. You will never give me a good feedback. You will take me as unsuitable person. Why? Because I don't have the sense of proportion. I'm not appropriate. I'm not suitable for the occasion. Somebody is speaking, you stop. After a minute or two, you decide whether he or she is worth listening to or not. If the speaker is making sense, saying something useful in a charming way, in a presentable way, maybe you have an urgent work, but you stop. Sometimes you are there sitting in front of TV or internet. The presenter, he arrests you. You are going to bathroom or you are going to have dinner, you forget about it, you are lost in that presentation. Some of the ads are so captivating that you don't think and you decide to do that. What is it? It is the art of presentation. So, my dear teachers, this is the first thing which you should keep in mind. Dr. Raja, are you following what we are discussing? Yes, Dr. Raja. Okay, all right. So that was the first point I brought to your attention. Where are you? Where again, let me tell you, where does not have anything to do with location or geography. Where in the sense of social standing. What is your relationship with other persons? Are you the boss or a subordinate? Are you senior or junior? Are you the master or customer? Your social position will decide your communication. So, this is the first point. The next point is who is in front of you, singular or plural. One-to-one communication is different from communicating with a group of persons in terms of language, in terms of contents, in terms of presentation qualities. So the first point was where, and the second point is equally important, who. Who is there? Again, who in a social, cultural, hierarchy sense. Your friend, your superior, your subordinate, your family member, a stranger, a child, a student, an auto rickshaw driver, many persons of various status and position, they come into contact with you every day and you talk to them differently. Again, going back to the example of your family, the way you talk to your 8, 10-year-old son or daughter, do not talk to your wife or husband or your colleague or your principal, HOD. So this who, the person right in front of you, who is he or she, singular or plural, and where are they? That makes a big difference. Chat group is one group of people. Talking to your friend one to one on the mobile is another communication. Posting a comment on Facebook, another. Who, another type of persons. So please remember the first point, where are you? Next is, who are you communicating with? And the third and equally important point is, why are you communicating? What is your purpose? Why are you saying something? Why are you speaking to someone? For making a request, for giving a command, for arguing, for narrating, for assisting. Hundreds of functions are possible. You should have a very, very clear idea of the purpose of your communication. Why? Look, the first was where, the second was who, and the third is why. If you answer these questions to yourself before communication, I can guarantee you your communication will be effective, successful, and it will bring you recognition. It will earn you respect and attention. But at the same time, if you are confused, if you are not clear, where are you? Who are you talking to? Or why are you using language? Please note my warning, you will be in trouble. People will take you non-seriously. They will consider you as an embarrassing. person who is not to be trusted. Trusted in the sense of taken seriously. So, my dear young teachers, it is a very serious matter. What? Planning before the actual communication. If you train your mind before you say or write something, you will be successful, effective, otherwise, not. So please keep in mind communication ability. For communication, let me tell you also, yes, we need some command over language. Take English as an example. Can any one of you please tell me the definition of democracy? Any one of you, please. What is the definition of democracy?
Is for people, by the
Yes.
people,
Yes.
of the people.
Of the people. Very good. What's your name?
Dr. Haidar Yasmin.
Oh, so yeah, right. So thank you very much for this classic definition of democracy by Abraham Lincoln. Of the people, for the people, by the people. Please listen carefully. This is command over language. Democracy is a form of government of the people, OFF, of the people, for the people, FAR, for the people, and by the people, BYE, bye bye, Tata, goodbye, by the people. So, Professor Yasmin, is the meaning same or totally different?
That is different, sir.
So, look here, this is command over language. I did not change any word, a word in the sense that very slight change. It
The
remains of
pronunciation is changed. The pronunciation is
yes,
same, but the meaning is different.
pronunciation and spelling. Now, what was positive has become totally negative, isn't it? It
Negative.
is it is cynical. Now, I give you one more example. I like tea but dislike coffee. I hate crimes. I loathe injustice to women. I abhor violence. I denounce terrorism. Look here, like, dislike coffee, ordinary thing, so I use the word dislike. Crime is something more serious than coffee or tea. A injustice to women, women being weaker sections of the society, exploited for centuries. So justice demands that I should abhor injustice to be. Violence is something very disturbing because you cannot bring back life, someone whose life gone forever. Life is precious. So I abhor violence. Terrorism is very serious. An innocent person is killed for no fault by any mad person for any political reason. So I denounce it. Look here, what is it? By slightly changing the shades of words, I have conveyed my feelings. So, yes, language is needed for good communication. I would advise you, please, now you are very fortunate generation, internet generation. There are hundreds of sites available which help you improve your vocabulary, presentation, grammar. My advice to you is please read and listen carefully. If you do it, you will pick up presentation skills. You will develop good vocabulary. You will learn the art of communication. If you listen critically, carefully to speakers, presenters, that will improve your communication skills. Right, that is one thing, communication. And because it is very important, I devoted more time to it. The second quality, according to National Education Policy, is listen carefully. It is called empathy. English, like any language, is a mix of many other languages. So pathos, Pathos, is a Greek word which means feeling. From this we have the word sympathy. Sim means similar. My friend unfortunately lost his mother. He said, I have similar feelings. I am also feeling sad. So this is sympathy. Your friend celebrated birthday. She's delighted. You are in a happy mood. That again is same feeling. There were some outsiders who stole in our colony. So we had antipathy for outsiders and opposite feeling, hate. dislike. But the word used here in this document is empathy. EMPATHY. Please try to follow this. What does that mean and why it is needed for academic leaders like you? 1910, Mahatma Gandhi has returned from England after graduation in law. Someone in South Africa engages him for a legal case. He goes to South Africa. He is shocked to see how the white rulers treat the local black population. Trains, black, not allowed. Parks, black, not allowed. Hotels, eating places, blacks, not allowed. He, Mahatma Gandhi, protested against it. Look here, Mahatma Gandhi is not a black, he is not a South African, but he has such feeling for others that he protests. Sympathy for a friend, that's very common. Empathy is having kind feelings for others who are not your friends, who are not your family, is still because of justice and truth you stand by them. That is empathy. Another example of empathy I will give you. In 1920s, we had a vice chancellor at our university, Aligarh Muslim University, Sayyid Masood. He went to England. There he had a friend. His The name of his friend was, and he was an Englishman. The name of his friend was well known to teachers of English. E.M. Foster, a novelist. Masood invited him to India. In 1920, he visited India, and look here, like Gandhi, he was horrified to see the treatment of Indians by the British officials. In 1919, Jallianwala Bagh, in less than 1 hour, thousands of Indians, innocent Indians who had assembled there, they were killed by police fire. Ian Foster is not a Hindu, not an Indian. He attends Krishnashtami or Janmashtami program and loves it. He visits a mosque and feels fascinated. What is this? This is empathy. I told you his name is Edward Morgan Foster, an Englishman, white, British, praising Krishnashtami, praising mosque, praising Indian men and women and children, and condemning his own white British Christian police officers, collectors, district magistrates for their injustice to Indians. This is empathy. Universal values of justice and truth. My dear fellow teachers, please remember ours is a multi-religious, multicultural, multi-linguistic, multi-regional, multi-traditional country. You are in Chennai and there may be a student from Punjab. Everything different. Language, dress, food, religion, culture. But you should have empathy, love, affection, guidance for your student, no matter what is his or her gender, religion, caste, culture, or race is. So this is the second quality which is needed in an academic lead. Empathy, overflowing love and affection for students. Not just delivering lectures to them, counseling them, comforting them. You can very easily find out one of the students is not financially well off. After the class, you can discuss financial help yourself or through some NGO, some charity. In the class, you may note a girl feeling lonely, lost, depressed. Again, after the class, you may find out her family background, her psychological problems, and provide some counseling, some guidance to her or to her parents. Holding hand, showing them the path in the class. You note a very bright student coming up all the time with wonderful ideas, correct answers. Again, you call him or her, motivate them to join some other reputed institution or go abroad if they can afford. So this showing the path, affection, concern, love, well-being of your students is empathy. That's what is expected of you. Ours is a Central University, Aligarh. I had so many. PhD scholars, more than 30, some from Iraq, war, top Iraq, Palestine, Yemen, suffering. Then even within India, from Gujarat, from Kashmir. But to me, everyone is Allah, no matter what is their background. This is empathy. Next quality which is needed by you, by academic leaders is resolve, determination, dedication for personal development, for the progress of your institution, for the welfare of your society. Academic leader is someone who is a good teacher, good citizen, good human being. When you set this role model, your students are likely to follow. They will emulate you. They will follow in your footsteps. So you can be a light in the darkness around you. Next, please have concern for institutional development. We live today in the age of knack and ranking and so much pressure on quality education. Your principal, your HOD alone cannot make your institution a top rate institution. He needs your cooperation. So, cooperation with your institution for institutional development, infrastructure, facilities for students. So, overall concern for your institution, that is also the quality of an academic leader, and this is expected of you. Now, briefly, now that time is coming to a close, so briefly, so far I was discussing the qualities or features of an academic leader. Now, very briefly, but I will certainly draw your attention to the challenges which are before you, for which you should be mentally ready. These are real challenges, serious issues. The first one is financial. Let me tell you very frankly, in next 5, 10 years, there will be no state grant by state government or central government for any educational institution. forget about it. Self-financing is the model. Take loans from the bank for paying salary, increase fees, and students should take student loans from bank, pay the fee in lakhs of rupees. There will be no burden on their parents. When they are employed, they will return the bank loan. When your college or university gets this fee from the students, they will return the bank loan taken for paying salary. This is a big challenge. Financial management of educational institutions. And please remember, let me clarify it. It has nothing to do with any political party. Today, A political party is there, tomorrow B may be there, next 5 years C may be there. Whatever political party is in power, no one can afford, no government can afford financing educational institutions. You have to manage your own finances. Challenge, threat, but opportunity also. Develop the institution and manage it. Once again, only the principal cannot do it. He will need your cooperation also. Last point I will share with some pain to you. Today, Professor Yasin has we have a very serious problem.
Yes, Professor?
Yes, my last point is that's a very serious problem for which we are responsible as teachers. And
Yes.
the problem is our students are sadly unemployable.
Yes,
They are
yes, Professor. Yeah, very
they are
serious problem.
not they are not competent to get any employment. Look, unemployment is one problem. More serious is that there are hundreds and thousands of vacancies and suitable candidates are not there. We have MBAs in their hands, MBA degrees in their hands. They cannot write or speak even a sentence, not in English, even in their mother tongue. They do not have problem solving minds. They do not have leadership qualities. So even if their mama is sitting in the selection board, he or she will not select them. Unemployability. Millions of our graduates, engineers, MBAs, computer. On paper, they have degrees, but they have no skills. Good for nothing. Burden on society, burden on themselves, burden on the system. And I said it is our fault. They were with us for 5, 10, 12 years, and we did not develop their creativity. We did not explore, we did not let them explore creativity, critical thinking, problem solving mechanism. We did not expose them to real life. What we did, just year after year, same lectures, repeated it, examined them, and passed them. So they have on paper no competence, no skills, no ability to do anything in life. Unemployability is another big challenge about which please think, solve the issue, because that is posing a great and serious threat not to the education sector but to our economy, to our political. These millions of unemployed youths are on the road naturally. Their energy goes into something negative. Some of them end up in crimes, which is another national tragedy. Or their being useless is itself a big loss. As teachers, please think about it right from school up to their highest degree. Try to develop their personality, make them creative, let them achieve something in life. This is what national educational policy is about. This is what academic leadership is about, and that's what I was discussing with you. Right. You are most welcome to ask questions or clarifications. We have another couple of minutes. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks for your careful and patient listening.
Thank you, Professor Kidwai. In everything that you said, there was a lot of depth in it. It's all because of your experience. We learned a lot from your session, Professor Kidwai. Any questions
Thank
any
you.
participants have to Professor? Any questions? Okay, participants, we have with us Dr. Faiza Abbasi, the director of MMTTC, Aligarh Muslim University. She
Yeah.
is the force behind the program. And of course,
So,
Professor Sajid Jamal sir. So she is here with us to give the valedictory talk on to Professor Faiza Abbasi.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yasmin. Assalamu alaikum, Professor Kidwai. It was such a pleasure.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, such a pleasure to listen to you in the last few minutes that I've been here.
The credit goes to you entirely. Please go ahead. Yeah,
And
and, and thanks for reuniting with Professor Yasmin Heather. I recall the
yes,
Calem days, and I told she was a pillar of strength and support for us. So that was a
yes,
wonderful, Okay, please go ahead. Thank you
yes,
very
indeed. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
much. Okay,
Take
okay, thanks.
care. Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Yasmin.
Okay, so good evening, dear participants, and I'm welcoming you to this short valedictory. Although it's just a few of us here, but still, I'm glad we've made it through this course. We could finally do it. And at the end of these 8 days of learning in these online sessions, I'm sure you've all learned a lot with some very, very eminent resource persons who were here to speak to you, and with all this hand holding that Professor Yasmin did with the participants. In the valedictory, I always look forward to taking some feedback from the participants. If there is any add on, if there is any observation, if there are ways in which we can make our course better, or anything um, that you want to let us know of. Because I consider all feedback as constructive feedback. So, no feedback comes as positive or negative. All of it comes as constructive feedback. And it goes a long way. It's really effective and productive in improving the delivery and the quality of our courses. So, if Dr. Yasmin, you have selected some of them to say a few words, it's fine. Otherwise, you can call upon some of the participants who are willing to give a short feedback. No? Dr. Yasmin, can you? Uh, is somebody there who can say a few words?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead, Dr. Mohammed Shanavas.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, please.
Good evening, Faiza ma'am, Professor Yasmin Haidar ma'am, and all my fellow participants. Good evening to all of you. It is with what immense and gratitude and appreciation I am giving my feedback on the NEP sensitization program organized by the AMU HRDC. The program has been an extraordinary experience which enrich us with invaluable insights and knowledge across diverse areas. Each day brought new learning and thought-provoking discussions. We began with the session on entrepreneurship development, and each day we had some learning on new things. Say, for example, curriculum development, e-content creation, interconnectivity of teaching and research, and the exploration of AI and technology in curriculum was particularly eye-opening, which shed light on how we can leverage advanced technology to make education more dynamic and accessible. And in the later part session on student diversity and inclusive education, as well as various teaching methods, emphasize the importance of creating learning environments that are inclusive and adaptive to every student's needs. Finally, today we have session on academic leadership. Uh, all the sessions were very insightful, and we have learned a lot from these sessions. All the speakers were very resourceful. On behalf of all participants, I extend my heartfelt thanks to AMU HRDC and the distinguished speakers for their dedication and the insightful deliberation that have enriched us throughout these days. But on my side, I just want to add one point. What I feel a little bit lack of connectivity between the speakers and the participants. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's a notable point from you, Dr. Shanavas. Lack of connectivity between the speakers and the participants on an online platform is all the more evident, because the thing is that with switched off videos and switched off audios, and with the precondition that we cannot force anyone to come in class in the on video mode, because people might cite their issues of signal penetration, data coming from hinterlands. So yes, I agree, and I think the quality of resource persons that are here, they don't let this kind of lack of connectivity happen when we're there in our offline courses and offline classes. Um, so yes, that's a very noteworthy point that you've made, and I'm glad to know that you found the sessions useful, and there was some positive learning happening in each of the sessions.
Yeah, every session was very fruitful and useful, I would say. And every speaker made it a point to ask questions, to ensure that we are connecting with them. And wherever it was possible, even our participants had answered those questions. So I found the session very interesting,
And
and
all the sessions
likewise, even the participants found it interesting. Yes, Shanas?
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. All the sessions were very engaging.
Okay, so let's move on to, we have time for one more feedback if somebody is willing. A female participant, if you are listening, anyone.
Anyone would like to give a feedback?
Very good evening, madam. This is Dr. V. Vishwanath, and I am working as a lecturer in Government Degree College, Bangalore. It is near to Bangalore, Karnataka. And for past 1 week, I attended all the sessions. It is the resource persons are given very useful information for us, and all the sessions went well. And along with the learning, we enjoyed all the sessions. And thank you for the great opportunity like this, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vishwanath. So thank you
And a special
both.
thanks to either Asmin madam also. She has organized a very well manner, and from 3:30 to 7 o'clock. So very special thanks to the Asmin madam.
Yes,
Thank you,
indeed.
Dr. Vishwanathan.
Yeah,
All
yes.
because of Dr. Faiza Abbasi.
E-
She keeps motivating everyone.
exactly at 3:30. Exactly at 3:30, and there will be a break, and again the timely she has guided us, and we enjoyed and we learned a lot, madam. And special thanks to the
Yes,
AMU,
I'm sure the
and we
participants.
are expecting more the innovative the conferences like this in the future. And a special thanks for all the resource persons. They have given a good information for us, madam. We learned a lot from these sessions.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm so grateful to hear that. And I also join you and all the other participants in extending my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude for Professor Yasmin Heather She very readily collaborated with us for this course, and we have seen her promptness and her dutifulness in running this course by being physically present in all the sessions, by actively engaging with the resource persons as well as the participants. This is the kind of coordinatorship that's really appreciated. So thank you very much, Dr. Yasmin, for
Thank
your
you, Doctor.
forthcomingness. Yes, for your forthcomingness in collaborating with us and making this course a success. So, my dear participants, before I take your leave, I will just make a couple of points. You have learned about the national education policy. I must say, this is just the beginning. This policy is here for bringing transformative changes in higher education, how we have seen this sector and how we have acted as practitioners in this sector. This sector is extremely important for nation building, for development of our country, and for the national pride, I must say. Where we are made is the classroom, but this vision of the NEP actually it puts forward a lot of new, innovative, and creative solutions for lack of quality in higher education, for the lack of a world class university in our country, and for the lack of all those things that just now Professor Kidwai was mentioning, the malaise in higher education that, our students are going out with degrees, but there is so much of gap between the labor market and academia, that there are hardly any linkages between industry and academia, and that the graduate attributes that the students are going out with are not those graduate attributes that the job market actually demands. So, this policy is destined to have skill and vocational training inbuilt into the curriculum so that students can better prepare themselves for the life that comes after passing out these degrees. Now, these are very small yet consistent changes. So we are not realizing them right now as they are happening. It's been 4 years since the policy came. We didn't realize many changes. Some we would have certainly, but in a long span of time, 20, 15 years, when all of us will be ready with our institutional development plans, when all of us will be ready with our board of governors, when all of us will be ready to move even towards autonomy, towards financial independence, towards more and more accountability in terms of governance, leadership, and management in higher education, we will realize that it has all been possible because of this vision that was there in the new education policy, which is now known as the National Education Policy. And we will, uh, acknowledge ourselves as contributors and actors in translating this vision towards reality. So, I would like to let you know that we are going to have these courses twice every month until the end of this financial year. And by that time, we expect to have touched upon all the higher education practitioners in the country, in government institutions, in private institutions, in universities, in colleges, in institutions of eminence, in institutions of national importance, in standalone institutions, everywhere. So after this course, you will be getting your certificates. I'm sure you have already appeared for one of your MCQ tests. And today, again, after 2-3 minutes, we will be hosting another MCQ test. And your marks again will be generated, the score will be generated. And based on your performance in both these multiple choice question tests, and of course, your overall performance in the classroom, we will be generating your certificates. Your grades will be marked on your certificates. You are required to mm, complete your MCQ. That will be all. If for some reason you are not able to download your certificate, please write an email to me, because making a phone call to me or anybody in my team actually really doesn't help much, because what happens is that we are completely clueless that whose call is this, who, which course this participant is calling us regarding. So I request you all to please write an email to me if there is any query. So once again, dear participants, thank you for choosing to be with us. Please stay on for another 10-15 minutes, and this will be the last. If you were here with us, we would have had some tea, coffee together. Uh, we could have hosted you here in the premises of the Aligarh Muslim University. Dr. Yasmin has been here once. She's seen it's a beautiful campus. And once again, Dr. Yasmin, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this possible. I can understand your challenges, but still, the fact that you didn't give up and the fact that somehow we could finally do it is really, really a tribute to your dedication.
Thank you.
and passion.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
Professor.
participants. All the best. Please take care. Good night, and God bless you all.
Participants, please answer. Thank you, Professor. Participants, please answer the MCQ questions that will be shared to you in a short while from now. And as Dr. Faiza said, your certificates will be sent to your mail. But in case if you do not receive it, please do write to AMU mentioning the correct course dates and mentioning your name and from which university you are. Right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful coordination.
Thank you, Shanavas. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye
you
to
very
all.
much, madam.
Thank you, Vishwanath. Bye-bye. See you.